What's up, guys? Welcome to Get Heavy Podcast, coming at you with a beautiful puppy on our floor today. You got Moose here today, right? Is it Moose?
Panda.
Panda? Oh, you said Moose.
I know, because it's a little
Oh,
moose.
because he's a moose. All right.
Yeah.
We got Panda here today. Girl? Look at this well-behaved dog. She just sits there.
Yeah.
My dog would be all over the fucking place.
Mine was last time she was
yours
here.
was last time.
Yeah.
Your dog bit the camera.
She's hilarious, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Anyway, this podcast is sponsored by Dead Man's Beard Company. There's going to be more on that later. You can check out their website. Use the code HEAVY15 for 15% off the order, but more on that later. Now we'll get into the episode.
Nice.
All right. Hi, how are you?
Hey, brother. What's happening, man?
We're back to mics.
Yeah, I like it.
We're back to
mics
mics.
much better.
We're tired of having audio issues and trying to fight through them, and we know that you guys have been bitching about Jake, that he can't speak at a normal volume because his beard's in the way and his fucking gut's in the other way.
Yep.
So we decided to go back to mics. Do it
Pretty
classic
much.
style, dude.
Yeah.
We're not a goddamn TV show. We're doing
Because
it.
I have bass in my voice and you still are trying to work through puberty.
My balls have almost dropped today. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, it's nice to have the mics back.
it is.
Yeah. Although you're going to be, I'm sure, bitching about me not having it close enough to my mouth before the end of the podcast.
3 years, man.
Yeah, well, you know.
I'll give you a pass for like the next month just to get used to it again. Is that cool?
I'm good, man. I can just feel it tickling my beard, so we're
There you
good.
go. Yeah, you're good, man. It sounds much, much better. So, what the fuck is going on, dude?
Fucking life, man.
Yeah,
Just life. Mm-hmm. Holidays coming rapidly.
this is true.
Very, very rapidly. Mm-hmm. Very, like.
Do you? I mean,
Very.
I guess you probably get some level of anxiety for the holidays, right?
100%, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Should I stay or should I go now? You know?
Yeah.
I really literally think to myself every holiday, like, okay, where can I go? Like, I just want to disappear. But I'm trying to work through that stuff. That's why I had therapy, like literally sitting in the parking lot doing therapy before I came in here.
That's right. That's interesting. Is that new?
Yeah,
How's it going?
it's going.
Yeah.
Man, I have a hard time with
What
it.
is it? Is
I
it have
really
a
do.
focus? Or are you just doing general therapy?
No, it's about like trying to figure out how to communicate. Yeah, like cognitive behavioral therapy. And so just trying to like, okay, this is why you have a hard time doing this. Yeah, this is why you have
Oh, she's fine. She's good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Is she snoring?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's-
So I don't know because I always have a hard time. Like, first of all, I don't like.
Camera going down. Got it. Oh, almost. Oh boy. Beautiful.
I hate going through therapy. I hate going through the process of this is what I've gone through. This is where I'm at. This is, like because every time you go to therapy, you kind of got to go through that process of like, this is why I'm fucked up.
Sure.
Essentially, you just go,
Rehash.
you got to rehash. And there's a lot of stuff I just don't want to rehash. I don't, I need to, but I need to with a point. I need to where there's a clear end to it where, okay, from this, you're going to learn that not every conversation is about to turn into a fight. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of the things that I have a hard time with communicating. I do great, but as soon as it's any type of conflict, as far as like, even if it's just a discussion about, hey, why didn't you clean your car? Or why didn't you do this or that? I always think it's going to go to we're going to yell and we're going to fight and argue about something simple.
Sure.
So it's like, but that all stems from childhood trauma and the neighborhoods I grew up in where everything turns into that. So if
Yeah.
somebody walks up to you and they start to get like they're going to be combative, you just go to 10,
yeah.
immediately
Yeah.
and get straight to the point. And then, but then we get to be an adult and we're not in such a dysfunctional environment. And then people expect you to behave or you're expected to be able to communicate. I sound like I can communicate. But when it comes down to it, I avoid a lot of communication because I just think it's going to turn into me yelling at somebody.
Is that as a result of encountering a encounter a conflict or a conflict with
Everything. Yeah, with everything. You know.
as soon as conflict arises, you shut down.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You escalate.
Either I escalate or I shut down so I don't escalate. You know, because it just turns into, and I don't have any type of filter for what this, like, if I don't like somebody and I walk into a room, it'll be 30 people in there. You'll know I don't like that person. You know what I mean? And that energy it's why I don't play poker. Like I learned a long time ago, there's no playing poker.
You don't have a poker face?
There's no poker face. None, nothing.
Yeah, I feel like
nada.
my eyebrows give everything away
Yeah.
for me. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Like as soon as my eyebrows are like this, I'm like, I'll be listening and I'm like, oh fucking no. You know what I mean? Like I don't have it. I don't think, you know what I mean? Like
No, you don't.
I
Not
don't
at all.
have it at all.
No. No.
You pretty much know exactly where you stand with me
Yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah, you can see what you're thinking.
Totally. Yeah.
Just looking into those eyes,
Yeah.
get lost.
I'm like, fuck, dude.
Yeah. So just dealing with that stuff, man, and just trying to build that back up and, see how it goes. I don't know. Every time I start doing therapy, I go like,
How many times have you started it? Couple? Few? More than that?
6, 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only done it once. Yeah.
I'm sure it went well.
Yeah, it went pretty good actually.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. It was, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. No, it was. I have my own personal story with it, but which I don't really want to get into. But, I just don't. I have such a hard. I don't fucking believe a therapist. I don't like. I have a really mental block where I don't trust you. Like it just does not. I don't. Maybe it's like it's not arrogance. It's fear of assuming someone could understand. Like me personally.
Yeah.
But I see it. My daughter's in it right now, and like, first of all, there's no end in sight. You know what I mean? That's what I'm not interested in. I'm not interested in rehashing my past for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Because I see like very specific examples of people that are like in their 50s and 60s that walk around blaming their parents still for how they grew up. You know what I mean? And I just fucking it's one of the more annoying things in my life.
Yeah.
To listen to like I'm not gonna. There's a very famous comedian that I just watched a special the other day, that is 60 fucking years old and still fucking blaming his parents for how he was raised. And you're like, Jesus, you fucking puss, dude. Like, so there's a little bit of that in it, and then also I just don't fucking think. You just don't. I don't know. I don't. I guess maybe I've never trusted one.
Yeah, but not only that, but like as far as the other stuff goes, you do realize you're not very empathetic.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
man, this guy's still living in trauma from his past. Quit being a bitch. That's his trauma.
I know.
Quit being an asshole.
but still, dude. Like,
No, not still. Quit being an
still.
asshole. You're
but
being
like
an asshole.
it wasn't fucking molested. He wasn't. You know what I mean? Or just like when you hear people. I do have. You're absolutely right. I have a problem being empathetic for other people's shit. That
I know
is not.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't seem to be shit.
I
to
will
me.
be talking to you about stuff that I'm going through, and I can watch you check out in real time. In real fucking time, I'll watch you check out.
Man.
Oh yeah,
Because my eyebrows said it. Is that why?
your face? You just completely check out. You know,
Oh, it's so
yeah.
sad.
And I like, okay, yeah.
Well,
So yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, man.
No, I know my dog's dead, but it'll be fine. And and you could just see you be like, yeah, okay, all right.
I don't know what it is. What's
It's
what
just
is
personalities? There's different people.
I just don't.
My brother is not empathetic at all.
Right.
I mean, he is to a certain extent, but he also isn't. I mean, but he's also.
Work, you kind of have to have a threshold.
Yeah, I mean, your brother
you got to
saves
kind of have
babies, you know.
but you have to have a threshold. But he also has he deals with stuff without the empathy his whole life. This isn't something that's new.
Okay, yeah.
He's always been, and this isn't new for you.
No.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just
No.
it's genetic upbringing how you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my dad is a great person, but he's not the most empathetic man there is. You know, my mom was very empathetic, over the top you know, and that's where the genetics comes in. Like I'm more like my mother, and my brother's
More like your
definitely
dad.
like my dad.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know. I'm sorry I haven't been empathetic
Yeah.
to you at times.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just-
look, it's you. I don't look at it as it's just part of who you are. You just don't have that in you.
you can't
know.
say all the time. You know what I mean?
No, of
For
course
sure.
not. You know, I'm sure
I
you
just
like
have
your kids.
I love, I
Yeah.
love them to the end
Yeah.
of the earth. Yeah.
I know, but that's about it.
But
That's
do
where
I
you
have a lot of?
stop.
I just get to a point where, and we've talked about this before. You and me are both the people that people come to with problems. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I do. I remember a very specific moment in my childhood where I shut off empathy and was like, "Fuck this! I'm never gonna let someone else's shit fuck me up again."
Yeah.
And I think I still deal with it. You know, obviously I do. You know,
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I mean, we don't have a
I have a
choice.
very specific moment that I made a choice, and I was like, never again.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna let someone else's shit fuck me up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think it is true. You know what I mean? Like, because I have about an X amount of time for patience for things that.
And it's not very long. It is pretty quick. You know,
sorry.
yeah. Again, hey man, it's
I'll show up for you. I'll
no,
do the
you
things.
definitely show
Yeah.
up. But I have literally watched you check out and then just kind of laugh to myself about it.
Yeah.
But watch you go like,
Yeah.
okay, all right, can I get my tab? You know, or you move over two
Yeah.
chairs and sit next to somebody else.
But don't we need people like that?
Why?
Are we all supposed to be ultimately understanding and fine with fucking everyone trauma dumping on you?
No.
Are we
not
all
at
supposed to be okay with that? Or can we just can some of us be like, fine, you're
Yeah.
fine, dude. Just shake it off.
Yeah, walk
You
it
know?
off. Walk
Which
it
is
off.
a lot from my mom.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? My
walk
mom
it
is
off as your legs broke.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Suck it up, dude.
Yeah.
I like that trauma dumping.
Trauma, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't think you do
Yeah.
that at all. You know
No,
what I mean? But
no.
I've definitely met people that do, and you're like, dude, this motherfucker, dude. Like, I'm, emotional fucking vampires. You know what I mean? They just suck every ounce of your fucking.
I know a
energy
couple
out.
of them.
Yeah, well, I know a few
couple
of them.
of them.
Totally.
Yeah.
On every occasion,
Yeah.
on the encounterment.
Yeah.
It's like on the attention draw.
Yeah.
Consistent.
Or they'll turn something like you'll be having a conversation about something, and the next thing you know, they've turned it into something where you're like, where did this come from? Like we were talking about the dog snoring.
Right.
How did it turn into
Your childhood.
or what's going on
Yeah.
in what you're dealing with today? And it's that way every time you run into them. It's
Right,
like,
right.
oh, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. Well, my cat shit this morning, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Kill the cat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't get a cat. Go get a pit bull. Not a friendly, sweet one either.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I have to think about that a little bit because I mean, you're not the first person that's told me I'm unempathetic.
No,
for sure, and
Yeah.
you're definitely not going to be the last. But
yeah,
I just don't have a certain. I don't know. I just impatience and not giving a shit. Sometimes. Intolerance. That's what it is. Yeah.
Impatience, intolerance,
Yeah.
lack of empathy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I remember it being a choice.
I think it's also just part of who you are.
Now it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was a choice that I made at a very young age.
Did it have to do with your religious upbringing?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. This family shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just remember there was something that happened that I went, I'm never going to fucking tolerate other people's bullshit fucking my life up anymore. And I think honestly, I hardened at that point. You know what I mean? Like I completely hardened myself.
Yeah.
And I still, like I said, I'm here for anyone that is going through something, but also
For about 10 minutes. About 10 minutes.
but also,
And then you could watch him go, oh, God. Okay. Yeah.
but how long do we got to talk
Here we
about
go
it?
again.
You know what I mean? How
Here's
long? do
another
we have to-
fucking loser. They can't get their shit together and stand up like a man and walk it off. Just quit being a little girl and just handle your shit.
Oh yeah, I have like a time limit.
And when I say little girl, just for you guys that are all woke out there, I meant
mean
that as
pussy?
a general term. So instead of saying guys or guy, I was like girl because I wanted them to be included in the conversation.
gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. No, I apologize. Yeah, I will try to work on that. But I've also found, like, on the therapy thing, I found so much more solace and like closure through talking to friends that really know me. You know what I mean? Like you, I know I could come to. I could come to Jenny if I really.
Oh no,
had
you
some
can come
shit.
to me and I'll listen to you
For about 10 minutes?
No,
Yeah.
I will sit there and listen and with intent on paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Every time.
Yeah.
You know, with you, it's not everybody. There's a lot of people I'll shut down if it's those drama dumps that they
trauma
do all the
dumping, dude.
time. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, and that's I don't know. So I just feel like I have a limit where it's like if I really, I'm a pretty logical dude. You know what I mean? And it's
Yes,
really like
you're definitely logic based.
yeah, and if it's an issue that seems like it's pretty easily solved by you just making a fucking thing, I have like. Yeah, I'm like, you hit.
Yeah.
I hit
See,
my
but
I hit my
I'm-
time limit here, dude.
But
Like,
I always look at it like if I can help somebody by listening to them and maybe contributing to it, then it makes me a better person.
sure,
And
yeah. Not
and,
interested in that part.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not interested. In
No,
that part.
not at all. But it's just I like being there for people.
Yeah.
And it's it's definitely a difference in us for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It's something I should
Yeah.
think about a little bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get into therapy. But then I got to talk to some fucking moron that just graduated college, has never been
So
in the real world.
That is
You know
one
what
of
I
the
mean?
one of the things that I have a problem with when I'm talking to a therapist is
Is your therapist like a 70-year-old black dude? That guy I would or like a 70-year-old black woman. I would
he's
absolutely listen to that. You know what I mean?
He is a younger black man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure that out. But I've had a gambit. I've had women, I've had an old Jewish guy, I've had a younger-ish, a little bit older than me, white dude, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, but what it ends up coming out in the end a lot is, for what you've gone through,
See, that's where
you're doing pretty good. You understand that, right? Like, you do understand that you've beaten the odds and you're doing pretty good for where you came from. Like, you shouldn't have made it. And you have. And that's a testament to who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool. But then how do I now respond to people without doing it in attack form?
Sure.
Or, like,
Yeah.
not think that every little conflict is going to go to the worst possible. You know what I mean? Like,
Scenario.
oh, the
that you
worst,
built
man.
in your head.
I just, it's always, the worst thing is going to happen. So if you're prepared for it, you just keep going, and then when you go through it and then all of a sudden somebody's telling you that you got to sell your home,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're like, what?
What the fuck, dude?
What?
Yeah.
Let me just shut everything off here for a while.
Right,
Until, until my liver gives out.
Yeah. Yeah. The therapy thing's interesting, man. Well, I'm glad you're doing it. And
We'll see.
I think it's beneficial for everyone. I mean, in the time that I did it for about 6 months. It was like once a week. And the lady was really nice. You know what I mean? And I was like, I think if I had like a focus or something, you know what I mean, to go in on, like, then I think I'd do a little bit better. But it was just like general talk therapy, and it's like, what do you know?
Well, we can do that. You can do that with friends that are empathetic.
Right.
You know what I mean? You just,
Yeah.
who to call to have a conversation with and who to just go have a beer with so you can talk shit and laugh for a half hour.
See, and that's where I go more. I don't like, I mean, how many very few times have I really like, bro, I'm doing this. I mean, a handful of times with you, you know what I mean? I'm not the guy that wants to sit here and dwell.
And you're very, it's not a conversation. It's a bit of a conversation. And there's particulars that come to my mind right now as we're sitting here. But you're very like, fuck, blah, 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 fuck, blah, blah, fuck. Hey, you want to go get a beer? Let's go get a beer. You want to go get a burrito or something?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, if we know anything about me, I eat my issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's really,
Yeah.
If you really wanted to help me, you go, no, fatty, we're going to actually sit here and talk about this. You know what I mean?
Nah, I'd rather go have a beer and a burrito and play pool and shut
for
the
me,
fuck up too.
I want to just get the shit off my chest, and that's it. Like, and obviously if I'm really fucking up my life, which I haven't done in a long time, then yes, if like one of my friends were to pull me aside and go, hey, here, dude, you need to what is up with you? Which no one has ever done to me in my life. Yeah. No one's ever pulled me aside and be like, what the fuck, dude? Not because I probably didn't need it, but maybe I'm intimidating. I don't fucking know.
I think you've always covered your shit.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. I think so.
I mean, one of the reasons I share this stuff on the podcast and I share the therapy thing is so that other people that potentially listen to this podcast can go like, hey, if Jay can do it, I'll give it a shot. 100%. I'll give it a try. You know what I mean?
All I heard just now was you setting up an insult at me.
Craig's viewpoint
give it a second.
is
it's
similar
coming.
to a meme that goes, the less I give a shit, the happier I am.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I wish I had more of that in me.
Yeah.
I just give too much of a shit.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. And it's cost me a lot in my life, but it's also cost me more in the positive manner than it has in the negative manner because I have a very, very, very vast amount of friends that are good people that rally or that are there that, really love me. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean, I still don't like go to them and go, hey, let's sit around the fire and talk about our problems.
Yeah.
Pull the Bible out and,
I mean, yeah, maybe that's the next step though,
I've tried it, man. I've tried it. That's a bullshit room that I have a hard time with, man. I really do.
I tried that same shit, the confidence and nothing merited from substance of it, and I'm disappointed. Dude,
what in the Bible stuff, the religion stuff?
So it's a big part of it just goes back to community. That's really what it comes to. Is it's just based off community. You know what I mean? Our community and what we look into is just different. It's the connection and community, and then you get all that going on, and then you get that hive mindset to where it's just, this is our focus, and this is what we do and who we are. Mm-hmm. And through that belief, because I've been jealous many times of people that have faith, because they can go, this is out of my hands. Mm. Let me turn this over to God, and when I turn this over to God, I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Right.
I can go outside and garden. I go, hey, let me turn this over to Lalo's Tequila. And in about an hour and a half, I'll be smiling and feeling good and joking and talking. Nothing. I don't think nothing about nothing,
Yeah.
So I definitely, there's been a lot of times in my life where I've been like, man, I really, really, really wish that I had that faith. And people can go like, well, you can come and do this. But I've tried it and I just don't subscribe to it, so it's really, really hard, and then that whole filter thing I was talking about earlier comes into play, because I'm just like, come on, man. This is a good time for a nap, but this is about it,
There's, and actually thinking about it now, what actually kind of would more explain why my empathy is a little off is because every time when I was in the church, right, the only answer was give it to God.
Yep.
Pray on it. Let's pray together, right? Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. And then you release it, right?
Yeah.
And now whether it goes away or it doesn't go away, the problem, the issue, whatever it is, you had an avenue to release it.
Yeah.
And then now there's an argument. I mean, I've met a lot of fucking blind followers is what we call it, right? That their life is falling apart around them, and they're the biggest fucking advocates for God and this and that, you know what I mean? And it's just a total hypocrisy game for sure. But there's also people that literally, you see them, they give it to God, and you see a calmness wash over their face. You know what I mean? At least for the moment. You know what I mean? But you have to suspend belief. That's the problem. You know what I mean? You have to literally figure out how to trust that there is a thing that gives a shit about you.
I haven't found it yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, I found it in my most desperate moments as a teenager. You know what I mean? Knowing that my life at home was fucking pure chaos. I had very little structure in my life. My mom gives a shit for sure.
Well, there's also, we're going back to genetics.
What's up, guys? This podcast is sponsored by Dead Man's Beard Co. If you guys are looking for incredible, all-natural beard care products, then look no further. They have everything you need. They have amazing beard oils. They have amazing beard butters. They got shampoos, conditioners, colognes, combs, picks, anything to help you manage this incredibly wild mane that grows off your face. They have for you. High quality products. The scents are amazing. My favorite right now is the Obsidian. If you want to make women involuntarily fall in love with you, or men with lesser beards bow down upon your feet, then use Dead Man's Beard Co. It's incredible products. It makes your face smell and look amazing. It did wonders for me. Not a face for the camera here, but we have a very special offer. If you guys use the code HEAVY15, you will get 15% off of your first order. Check out deadmansbeardco.com, follow them on all social medias, and tell them we sent you. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
Environment that creates part of it, but it's also, along with that, is the genetics of who you are and who your parents are. Because you're either more, like a lot of the times, you're more like this or you're more like that.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And back to what I was saying about my brother and me, my brother's a Curran through and through. My mom's side of the family were Slaughters, and I am
Slaughter? That was your last name?
No, my mom's last name.
Yeah, maiden name?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
Yeah. But
What was your mom's name?
Norma Jean.
Norma Jean Slaughter, dude?
Yeah.
That's such a good one, dude. That's a great name.
Yes.
That's not Irish.
No, that's very German.
Sure.
Yeah, it is very German. And when you see my uncles and
Yeah.
they're definitely very German.
That's a good name, dude.
Yeah.
Slaughter is a rad name.
Yeah. And the whole Irish thing was my dad.
Yeah.
Like there was he never said, "Hey, you're Irish and Native American and German," and
Right,
blah. He's
right.
like, "You're Irish."
Oh, 100%.
Well,
I've been
what about,
Greek
you
my
know,
whole life.
Yeah, exactly.
I am Greek.
Yeah, my grandma was Italian. My
Yeah.
grandpa was Irish.
Yeah.
Other grandma was Native American, and the other grandpa was German. And Dad never said anything other than "You're Irish." You know.
Your dog is snoring awake. That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, her eyes are open. That's amazing. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's so weird. I mean, especially with the religion thing, you know what I mean? That it saved me in a million ways, you know what I mean? For sure. Just to be able to have some structure and just believe that something cares about you bigger than this. But, you know, also, once you can't get past the hypocrisy of Christianity, that's when it starts fucking killing you.
So when you talk about that moment in your life where you realize, like, I'm not going to be an empathetic human being anymore.
That's not exactly the realization, but yeah.
When
okay,
you had
got
that,
it. Yeah,
I
thanks.
remember right now, going, "There is no God, go fuck yourself." And I was
That's a powerful
probably
5.
no, it wasn't. I wasn't. It was between like I was probably 11 or 12. I was probably 11 or 12 because it was before junior high. But I remember walking home, and it was cold outside, super cold, and it was pouring rain. Never have I ever had a rain jacket or anything as a child.
Right.
And just going, "This is miserable. I'm tired of people picking on me. I'm tired of all this. Please, God, if you're there, please just help me with anything. Like, just make it a little bit easier and lighter." And then make it another 10 feet going, "You know what, you hypocrite motherfucker. You can go," like being a kid. And I remember the street. I
Yeah,
remember
man.
the trees around me. I remember the rain. I remember crying, uncontrollably crying, going, "Oh, there is no God.
Yeah.
There's nobody there to save you. There's
Yeah.
nobody there to rescue you. You have to do this on your own." I think
100%.
that's probably where the trail started to lead into having ulcers when I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
You know?
It would have been way cooler if like a car went by and just splashed you with a giant puddle.
It
like, right
pretty
as you-
much, did, bro. You know,
Yeah, man, it's a fucking powerful thought, huh?
yeah,
Yeah, it's weird. I kind of had the same thought when I was a kid, but it was just about not letting people fuck me up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not letting someone else's shit fuck me up ever again. You know? And I literally hit a switch. Like, I hit a switch in my fucking mind. I shut off at that point. You know what I mean?
I did
and
this-
then I started
okay.
becoming mean. You know what I mean?
I had that same thing, but it was like freshman year in high school,
Yeah.
and it wasn't. that I was going to stop having empathy for people, but it was just I was going to stop letting people push me or abuse me or talk shit to me or whatever it was. And then I did the exact same thing. I literally went from this dude Carlos slapped the shit out of me when I was a freshman.
Yeah.
And he slapped me good. Mm-hmm. And then like 4 or 5 months later, we were sitting on the stoop down in the apartments on El Dorado. We were sitting on the stoop, and all of us were just kind of hanging out talking. And he had a brother named Ralpha. Ralpha was a cross-eyed, cocky Mexican dude. He was so funny looking. But Carlos was just kind of joking around or whatever, and Ralpha went in front of everybody, went, "Hey, Carlos, why don't you slap Jay now? Go ahead. Why don't you slap him now?" And like called him out in front of everybody because he slapped the shit out of me in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And he went, "Nah, I'm good. Sorry, Jason.
Yeah.
Like I'm good. I ain't no."
He woke up the beast, dude.
Yeah, I did. It really, and I went from being like this really quiet, long-haired guy to just like, nah, I'll smack you in the mouth.
Yeah. No, I was absolutely king for most of my childhood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, just the very nice, very empathetic, fucking wanted everything to be fine. You know what I mean?
And then, that hits.
Yeah, and then you just make the decision. Nope, fucking never again, dude. Never again. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, with the cognitive behavior therapy, is it like they give you shit to do?
This is the second
Oh, okay. So you're
one,
just
and so we're just kind of breaking the ice on everything.
No, okay.
And
Are there exercises involved to?
If anything that has to do
this?
with exercise, I'm not in.
Yes.
No, I'm saying that with a understood that one, but a cognitive exercise.
We'll see. I'm looking to see where this goes, and I'm looking for that. Because if we do this and it starts getting into stuff, and then all of a sudden I'm like learning how to deal with the trauma that I've never really, I've lived my whole life in a survival state. Mm-hmm. My whole life has always been a survival state. There's no looking forward to like, I'm going to do this later on. I'm going to do this next week. I'm going to do this next month.
I'm
not doing
tomorrow.
this afternoon.
Yeah.
I have a super hard time with commitment. Like I got a guy that I'm playing darts with at 3:00. I've had a hard time making that commitment because between now and 3:00, something's going to change and I'm not going to be able to make it. So then just don't even set the process up. I do that in my life all the time. And it's really screwed up. It really makes life difficult in a lot of ways. Like I don't plan like the trailer and going camping. Like I'm not going to plan. Like the only way you get a reservation is you got to book it like 4 months in advance, 6 months in advance,
yeah,
right?
Totally.
So I won't do it because I'm not going to do it, and then it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. So why even book it?
Interesting.
And I live that a lot. And it kind of shows itself all the time. But if you're looking for it, it's going to pop up.
Right.
So maybe we should do the podcast more because this sounds like the therapy I need, doesn't it? It sounds like
I don't know. I checked
out right now.
I checked out about 25
No,
minutes
that's why I've been talking to Kenny. Have you noticed I've been talking to Kenny as you sit here and stare at the fucking, yeah.
You're setting yourself up for those own manifestations.
Always.
And your thought patterns are perpetually in a
Yeah.
cycle.
But that's why I'm going to therapy is because hopefully he can give me some tools to stop it. Because it sucks, man. You know what I mean? Like I live so much on the defense and the like waiting. Just let's rock because it's coming. I had a guy the other day that was like, "Hey man, so you're Irish?" And I immediately turned around and was like, I wasn't in the best headspace, but it was also like I'm not going to get into what he was, but I immediately just turned around and was like, "Yeah." And he's like,
was it the tone?
It was the tone and who he was. Yeah,
okay.
It was the tone and who he was. Like I didn't know the guy.
Yeah.
And he was looked like he was a up on the hill Ventura guy, not an Avenue Ventura guy, but the ones that live up on the hill.
Oh, gotcha.
So he had that look to him, and when he said it, I was already kind of in a funky space, and I turned around and was like, "Yeah, I'm Irish. So what? What?" Like, and you could, my body has that where when I feel like that, it makes people uncomfortable.
Of course, yeah.
And he was like, it's tattooed on your arm and you got a giant shamrock on your calf. Your calves are huge, and I saw the shamrock, and I'm assuming and I'm like, oh yeah, man, I'm sorry about that. I'm just having a bad day, But I literally turned around and was like, hey man, what's up?
What's up?
And he was like 6'3" and in really good shape, so that didn't help either. It was just immediately like, all right, yeah,
yourself on eggshells.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It happens, dude. I mean, for sure. I was actually at your bar Friday? Me and Rosie went down for like a nightcap, essentially, right? Showed up, had like one beer, and there was this fucking guy like at the counter ordering, and he was just a loudmouth, dude. And he was being a fucking loudmouth, and he was talking to, I'm sorry, Michelle, the blonde one? The blonde bartender? The little one? Ash?
No, Rochelle.
Rochelle.
Yeah,
Rochelle. Sorry, Rochelle.
Yeah.
He was talking to Rochelle, and she was obviously annoyed with him, and Dave was obviously annoyed with this fucking guy, and he had like a weird cheetah bandana on his head, and he was just fucking loud, right? So he's talking, and she's giving him shit, and I'm just kind of giggling, you know what I mean? I'm standing.
She gives shit, dude.
Oh yeah, I'm giggling, dude. And he fucking, it's your counter, me and Rosie. And fucking, I'm just kind of giggling at it because it's like he's an obvious loudmouth who's annoying, and she's already kind of threatening to kick him out of the bar. And he's fucking, saying shit. And I'm just giggling, and he looks over at me and goes, I don't fucking like this guy. And I was like, hey, you know what I mean? And I didn't, not one part of him was threatening to me whatsoever, you know what I mean? So it just made me laugh so fucking hard. It was like, just because I was giggling, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
okay.
it obviously
All right.
set him in a weird thing. And he goes, I don't fucking like this guy. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't think it would go any further than that, but I kind of made like a big joke about it, you know what I mean? And I was like, this is, I was like, that's fucking rude. What the fuck?
I would have immediately stopped laughing.
No, I just, he
You
had
know.
zero threat to me, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
But to me, that's not a respect deal.
It didn't
It's
fucking
not
matter.
a threat deal. It's a respect deal.
Yeah.
So it immediately becomes like, well, hey man, who the fuck you talking to?
right.
But you're way better at that. And
Well,
I've watched you do that.
like I said, because
Yeah.
I can see a part of my superpower of not being empathetic is I can also see when it doesn't fucking matter.
I went into
You know what I mean?
We went to the garage yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Hold on.
Cool. Thanks for inviting me.
Hold on. We went to the garage. I had to go to the Moose Lodge. We went to the garage. We were going to stop real quick, say what's up. I want to see Jen, and then have a drink, and then we had to go to the Moose. So I walk in, and they're like like as we walk in, there's a lady that was really drunk, and she was just like faded. Like she can stand, and she was fine, but I could tell she was inebriated. And I had Gypsy with me, my dog, and then she started like pet Gypsy, and she was kind of cool for a second, but she was squatting down, and Gypsy kind of started to walk away from her, and she reached out and tried to grab Gypsy, and then when she tried to grab Gypsy, and Gypsy just kept walking with no intention, she kind of reached down and grabbed at her tail.
What?
Yeah. And I went, hey man, get the fuck away from my dog. And she looked up at me, and you could see the look in her, like
her dad was talking to her or something.
And I immediately just turned around and told Honey, let's go. And we left. And as we were walking outside, Honey was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I went, well, there's a few things that just kind of happened in there that this, because there was other things that kind of contributed to it. But I immediately was like, I am not
doing this.
I am not going to sit here and put up with this shit. You know.
See, I mean, that's the difference between your fight or flight, because I have it too, but I also just I can make the choice where I'm like, am I going to make this a thing, or am I just going to laugh at you because you're a fucking idiot?
See, I wish I had
And
more
I have
of
that.
But
I have that all day. I probably actually do that more than I should at this point. You know what I mean? I mean, what am I? I'm 40
Well, no,
fucking
but
two. What
I
am I gonna
appreciate
get in a fight?
watching
You know what
when I watch you do that stuff, and you're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I mean? Yeah. dude.
Who the
Yeah.
fucking bandana? You take that bandana and shove it up
I
your
mean, it
fucking
would-
ass, man. Who the fuck are you talking to?
It was
You
such
know?
a funny comment, though.
Dude, I
It's
know.
like, I don't fucking like this guy.
Yeah.
He points right at me, and I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
I didn't even say anything to you.
See, but I more than likely would have went straight to, hey, well, how about go fuck yourself?
Yeah. And I can do that,
know?
but
But you don't, and I watch you not do it all the time.
I don't
It's
give a
fucking
fuck.
great, man.
Yeah, because if it comes to it, I'm gonna fucking My also fear is that I'm going to beat this guy and then not stop. You know what I mean? And then there you go.
That comes after.
Yeah.
When it gets to the point where that part triggers then. I had a dude in his chest one time and he had one lung. And I was pretty young. And I caught this dude in the mall, and he'd been talking shit, and I caught him in the mall, and I was like, "Hey man, there ain't nobody here now but me and you. Why don't you run your fucking mouth?"
Yeah.
And he started to say something, and I hit him dead square in his chest.
Right in his one lung, dude.
Intent was to knock.
Of course.
You know what I mean? My
Yeah.
intention was to make it knock the wind out of him.
Right.
Because that just going to end the fight, and I don't have to. But he fucking dropped and turned blue.
Dude, yeah.
And so then
my God.
I'm watching this thinking, I just killed this fucking dude.
Yeah.
And man, ever since then, it always goes to the question, like, okay, if you take this to the next level, are you ready for those consequences?
Are you ready to fucking hide from the cops in some bushes, dude?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where I don't know if it's first of all, I haven't been
imagine either one of us trying to hide in the bush from a cop. Jesus Christ,
You'd be
dude.
shocked at what I could put myself in if I had to.
I just immediately go,
See,
I'm
this
right
is
here.
This is why I wear dark clothes.
Yeah.
You're not ready
No.
for hiding. I'm
No.
always thinking about the exit. I'm thinking about someone coming in this door and I using Kenny as a human shield. You know what I mean? Like that's where my brain is all
We
the
got
time.
fucking the attack hippo
That's
laying
right.
on the floor right here. You know what I mean?
The old fucking hippo.
We got the athletic hippo and the attack hippo
That's
down
right,
here.
dude. Yeah. But I think it's maybe because I know a little bit now about combat and fighting. You know what I mean? Like, just knowing that things can go fucking bad quick. You know what I mean? Like, I got my ass beat so hard the other day in jiu-jitsu, dude. I mean, like, tapped 6 ways to fucking Sunday by this kid that is an incredible wrestler.
Yeah.
It's a fucking over. You know what I mean? And he's not little. You know what I mean? And it just... So part of me thinks, like, now I'm so much more tolerant of shit. Because, first of all, I have 0 things to prove. But when someone does some dumb shit, it's like, I really just... Unless they're in my face or fucking with my wife or something, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't care if this fucking guy doesn't like, fuck this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it just makes me giggle,
and what I have to work on is it has nothing to do with
Right.
It has nothing to do with anything other than respect.
Mm-hmm.
If you disrespect me in any way, shape, or form, it's my immediate instinct is to let's go.
That's from the street. That's like how I grew up, though,
exactly.
100%.
I had somebody not too long ago. We were just talking shit and we were telling a story, and I was talking about probably getting my nose broke again or just getting beat up. And they're like, they go, "You have a lot of stories about getting beat up."
Yeah,
And I'm
dude,
well,
I've been beat up a lot.
I've been beat up. Like, anybody that says that they've fought and haven't lost haven't fought.
That
or
is
they've
true.
had some pretty
100%.
selective fights. But
Right.
you getting punched in the face is something that happened when I was growing up.
You're not
you
going to
know?
win every one.
No,
You know, especially when there's 4 guys. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
dude.
just not going to happen.
Or one little Mexican dude.
And also,
that's got
everyone
great hands.
loves a good get your ass kicked story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the guy that only talks about the times he's beat the fuck out of somebody is, first of all, a liar most of the time. And second of all, no one cares. Like,
No.
cool, you're tough, dude. Like,
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, great.
Yeah.
You're tough. You got lucky one time. You know what I mean? That guy didn't know as much as you did, or
Yeah.
you caught him off guard, or whatever. But everyone loves a good I got my ass beat story.
The last time I got my nose broke, I took a drunk swing at a guy.
Dude, I love a drunk swing. I love a good drunk swing, dude.
It was
they're so good.
so good, dude. I mean, I took a big hook swing, and this dude just ducked, and then I was off balance, and I went straight down. I went down to like one knee, and I caught myself on the ground. And as soon as I did, he kicked me in my face and just smashed my nose again.
Yeah.
And then it sobered me up.
Yeah.
And then I stood up and we boxed.
Then we got it,
And it was fine.
I love a good
Yeah.
drunk swing. Where
So
you can
then-
just see the guy. He's like,
Oh God, dude.
you know.
I could have handed this dude a note going, "This is what's going to happen. Just here. This is what I'm about to do right
I'm
now.
gonna telegraph the
Why don't
shit
you
out
go
of this,
ahead
dude.
and just duck?" you know, yeah. Oh my God, dude. Yeah. So after that happened, I saw my brother however long later it was, and I didn't say anything to him because we were always having stuff go on, so I hadn't said nothing to him. And we're sitting there and we're having a beer and we're just bullshitting, and he looks at me and goes, did you get in a fight? I'm like, yeah, I did. I got in a fight a couple weeks ago at Nickleby's, and this dude kicked me in my face. He moved your nose to the other side, bro. Like, your nose wasn't this way. It used to be this way. Now your nose is over here. And that was just unprompted. And we just both laughed.
I love it, dude. Yeah, I don't know if I ever told you this, but my brother-in-law was a maniac back in the day. And he's obviously a nightmare, and he's beat the fuck out of multiple people, like hundreds of people. But his best stories are the ones where he got his ass kicked, right?
It's fun.
So he tells me this story once, and he goes, "Hey, dude, me and my friend are at the Sansui, right? They're at the sewer, and they're on the stairs in the line for the bathroom, right? He says it's what is it? Oh, so it's this gigantic Danish dude, like from off the boat, like almost like lederhosen. Like he's wearing overalls. He's got clogs on. Big fucking huge Viking dude, right? Is on the stairs below him. It's his buddy, and then Jason, right? Which is my brother-in-law. And so his buddy decides to start talking shit to this fucking dude, and who's at the same height of this guy. You know what I mean? And this Danish dude is like, I don't want any fucking problems here. And this guy is just hammering him. Right. And so eventually it gets to the point where one of his buddies swings on this Danish dude. And he said this Danish dude ducked the fucking punch and kicked Jason in the face on the stairs while he was harder than he's ever been kicked in his life with clogs on, right? And this Danish dude beat the living fuck out of me. He saw every time I opened my eyes, I was getting hit from another side with a foot or a fucking hand. He beat the shit out of me, drug us both down the stairs, and fucking choked us both out, basically, in the fucking lobby of the sewer, right? And he's all, I had no idea what was happening. Because he was like, I'm telling my buddy, like, chill the fuck out, dude. Like, leave this guy alone. He's the most foreign dude ever. But this dude was obviously Chuck Norris of Deutschland.
Some of the best kickboxers in the world come from there. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of really high-end... kickboxers.
And think about those stairs. It's 1, 2, 3. You're 3 foot. And this guy kicked straight up into Jason's fucking jaw with clogs on and fucked them both up. Dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's just one of the most entertaining stories I've ever heard. When you hear him tell it, it's fucking amazing. He's like, I've never been hit that hard that many times and had no idea what was happening. And drug them both down the stairs and was saying he didn't want to do it the whole time. You know what I mean?
I've had that exact same thing go on where I was fighting people and beating them up, going, "Hey man, you did this.
Yeah.
This isn't me. This is you. You did this, and that's why I'm hitting you again and again." Like, it wasn't like, I have to do this because you started this, and now I have to show everybody that you can't do that. You know?
Yeah. It's weird. I mean,
who's the kickboxer? God, the one that was walking through the bar and there was some loudmouth dude standing there. Have you seen that?
The MMA guy.
He wasn't MMA. He was kickboxer. And he's a high-level, insane kickboxer.
And he just three-pieced him real quick.
Oh, my God, dude. Yeah. So he just got acquitted of all that.
It's not Matt Serra.
No.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Matt Serra's mixed martial arts. This dude's a straight kickboxer.
Okay.
And
the guy was like screaming at a bunch of people in the bar.
Yeah, and he walked
by and kind of shoulder checked him a little bit. Yeah.
Ooh. Man. And he just cleaned his clock so fast, and you see his body move, and you're just like, oh, I'm so glad I wasn't in that. He
had 7 more punches ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when all the fights I've ever been in, I've got 1, 2, that I'm planning for.
Yeah.
After that, it's fucking, we don't know what's going on. You know what I mean?
I'll start trying to breathe deep, get the oxygen up in there, because I know it's
doing some Wim Hof.
Yeah.
Wim Hof
I got in a fight with a little Mexican dude. I tried to take his beer from him, and he was not a big dude at all.
But probably a boxer.
Oh, he just beat the crap out of me, man. And he did it in a very methodical boxer, like,
picked you apart.
I kind of swung at him. He ducked it, which was fine, and then we started to kind of box, and he kept not hitting me really hard, but tagging me. And then I finally got a nice little jab, and then
It turned
right
him on?
into his dead square into the middle of his face, man.
okay.
And most people, when I hit like that, it just ends the fight. You know, that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
You know, if I get a good one on you, that's the end of the fight. And I'm kind of known for being able to do that. And he didn't even blink. His fucking eyes didn't water.
Oh,
I got
no.
nothing from him other than,
You're all,
and I went, oh,
fuck. Then he Floyd Mayweather your ass.
He did. He really did. He sat there and he just tagged me and kept tagging me, and I kept trying to move and get away, and I was trying to do stuff, and then my homie Dustin, who passed away, walked up behind him and sucker punched him and took him out of the fight. So,
yeah, there you go.
you know,
There's no rules in the streets.
well, you know
what I mean?
I didn't feel good about it later on.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
You know, but I didn't feel good about
It's
it when we were
trippy
drinking
when you
his
see
beer.
someone that knows how to legit box.
Oh,
dude,
he
you
beat
know?
the crap
You're
out of
like,
me, man.
Fuck, you're in trouble, dude. You know what I mean? You're in big fucking trouble. You know.
When you swing at them and they slip it nicely.
Yeah, that's all
when
they do.
don't. Yeah,
They just
if
like-
somebody ducks, or if somebody blocks, or and
Yeah.
like you can see, like, okay,
Yeah.
we got something here. But if you take a punch at them,
Yeah.
and they don't even look like they moved, and you realize that you just missed them by an inch, you're just like, oh boy,
no, dude.
it's time to get beat up.
Yep.
I got ice packs in the fridge because I think my mouth's going to be swollen tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, most of the times I've ever been beat up has been multiple people jumping me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that's like, okay.
I've had some stand up fights that didn't go well.
Yeah.
Quite a few.
I didn't get in a lot of fights, but yeah.
I boxed in Detroit.
Yeah.
And when we boxed in a ring in a garage, and there was no we had a punch bag, a speed bag, and we would just train.
Yeah.
And I trained as a young man with a bunch of older men, and I was big, and so they would put me in the ring, and I would be fighting guys that were like 3 and 4 and 5 years older than me.
Right.
And
They just fucking, yeah.
you learn to duck, you learn how to block a punch, you learn how to move, but you still end up catching them.
How about the thrill of the adrenaline behind all of it?
We've talked about this, but I lived in such an adrenaline pump from probably elementary school up until I was in my 30s that I lived in such a constant adrenaline pump that there was no enjoyment for me. It was just you were always in it one way or another. So I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it now.
It was overstimulating for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had ulcers when I was 14.
Yeah.
You know what? Those ulcers came from
Stress.
fighting these people and stress
Yeah.
of going to school and being bullied and dealing with all of it. That was
Yeah.
all caused by the fight or flight life that I've lived in literally my whole life.
Yeah, I get the weird smile on my face. Like when things are going really bad, I'm like, like even in jiu-jitsu when I'm getting my ass beat, dude, I'll look over and I'll just like smile at the coach. I'm like, and I don't know. It is an adrenaline pump for me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking, now it's getting real, dude. This is fucking awesome.
You're not into it.
Yeah, it's not fun.
No.
Not a good way to be.
And it hurts.
It does. It hurts, dude. It hurts getting your ass whipped. Fuck, man. What else we got going on? Anything else? I think we pretty much covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. So, like I said, this podcast is sponsored by Dead Man's Beard Co. Thank you to them for being so cool to us about it. We got some more content coming up. We got some really cool guests coming on. I would like to throw it out there that if all the people, or even half of the people that follow us on our social medias would just give us a like and a subscribe onto things, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, whatever, we would actually be making money on this podcast. So that's a very free, easy way to support this podcast. Anyone that already does, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Whether you send us messages or you just listen to our bullshit. We really fucking appreciate it. But a free, easy way to support this thing is just to do the basic things that everyone on a podcast asks you to do. Right?
Yeah.
So, having said that, we got 1091 Scandia Avenue.
Garage bar. I'll be there December.
Oh, yeah. We are going to be doing a big special event for Christmas. Kenny,
Yep.
we haven't talked to you about it yet, but we're planning something really fucking fun for Christmas, a live podcast, probably at the garage. We will release the date and details soon. Until then, get ready for Halloween and
Yep.
Thanksgiving. Oh, I'm ready. Oh, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I got to hit up your chick. Shout out to Honey Pies, by the way. Honey Pies 805.
Oh, yeah.
Please support her stuff, dude.
And she can probably fit you in, but she's closed for holidays.
Already?
She's already Thanksgiving's done.
Nice. Good
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Thanksgiving is done.
Yeah.
She's booked up on pies.
Good for her.
So if you're into Christmas and the holidays coming up after that,
Yeah.
this is looks like it's going to become a bigger thing, which
That's
is
awesome.
great.
And it should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check out Honey Pies 805 on Instagram. Hit her up. Get your shit in now, dude.
Yeah.
She's the new fancy chef, essentially.
Yeah.
right?
Hey, and she's got a meeting going on today, and I think that we're going to be like every week we're going to have it at a specific location.
Oh, cool.
And as we work the details out on that, I'll definitely be talking about it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, support the local people, man.
Yes.
If you want incredible hand pies, fruit pies, whatever desserts, any doesn't fucking matter. She's on it.
And support when you support local people. Like also support like your local meat markets and your local stores, and like really do try to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can go and you can order your meat by cut for this price to have shipped to your house, or you can find a local butcher and you can go in there when you need it and you can order, and essentially they'll do the same thing.
Right.
And it's a local business that's going to be given back to the community and supporting the community and paying taxes in our community.
Absolutely, man. Because with this election coming up, it's going to be a shit show. The only way you can affect your community is by working in your community. So do that.
Yep.
Having said that, we love you. Bye.
Bye.